before I get started with the story, let me give a shout out to DJ for sending the story the t- uh, in the Discord. And this is getting very disturbing now, what I'm about to talk about, because it's a constant rotation of, repetitiveness of something eerie that's going on in New York. But in this picture, you see this man by the name of Santiago Salcedo. He's 27 years old. Now you can see a clear picture of him right there being arrested and carried out of, I guess, his apartment complex. But on the right side is a grainy picture, and this is him right here. This is an older woman, a grandmother, and you see a kid in the background. There's another kid beside him as well. Basically, what happened is this guy right here attempted to kidnap this woman's grandchild right there in broad daylight in the front of anybody that could possibly see. But she was the only one on the sidewalk, and she literally was, she really had no help, because if you look at the full scope of it, and I'm looking at it, there was really nobody right there. It happened, even though it happened in broad daylight. It looked like it happened on the side of a gas station, and because she's an older woman, she would not have been able to catch this guy. And I actually saw some of the footage where he just came up, snatched this child, wrapped him up in a blanket, and started to run off. And she tried to run after him, but because of her age, she really couldn't keep up with him. And then you saw the other two boys that she was with, standing on the side, jumping up and down, screaming. Like that's a scary thought. But the reason why I said it is very eerie what's going on in New York is because I've done several videos in the past, and not even like long ago, of children being kidnapped or attempted to be kidnapped in the state of New York, and usually around in the same area, because I think the last one I talked about happened in the Bronx as well. If y'all remember, I think it was a couple months ago, it was a guy that tried to take this woman's, I think, grandkids. I think that was her grandkids, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe her kids, I'm not sure, from her, and it was in broad daylight, but surveillance cameras caught him. He didn't get far because he actually tried to get the child inside of the car. I think he did, and he tried to get away, but he wasn't successful, and they were able to get the child out of the car. I think some people were there to help her get the child out of the car, but they weren't able to get him, because at that point they were just worried about getting the child and really not so much about him. But they did eventually catch him. And now you have this story right here, and pretty much the same thing is happening, but I'm noticing it's a constant repeat of Bronx, New York kidnappings. So I don't know what's going on up there. Maybe someone who lives in New York, specifically around the Bronx area, can feed me some information about, is there some kind of child trafficking, human trafficking stuff that's going on up in that area or in that state, period. So I'm going to go ahead and read this article that's coming from NBC News. It was posted October 12th, 2021. It says, video shows attempted kidnapping of toddler in NYC. Terrifying video shows a man yanking a 3-year-old girl from her grandmother's arms as they walked Monday afternoon in the Bronx. Now, I thought it was interesting that there was 3 children there, 2 boys, 1 girl, and he went after the girl and left the boys. So that's very telling. The grandmother approached a corner in the New York City borough with 3 small children when a man covered in a blanket lunged toward them and grabbed the toddler. Good Samaritans intervened, and the male placed the child down before he fled the scene, the New York City Police Department said in a statement. The man, identified as Santiago Salcedo, age 27, was arrested that day and charged with kidnapping, attempted kidnapping, unlawful imprisonment, and endangering the welfare of a child. Furman Bracero, one of the people who intervened, told NBC New York that initially he didn't know what was happening. When he grabbed her, I thought it was a joke. He said, when the grandmother said, "He's taking my child away," I reacted and went towards him. Salcedo remains in police custody. It is not clear if he has obtained an attorney. Well, he needs to stay there for as long as humanly possible, because who knows where he or how far he would have gotten if those Good Samaritans did not stop him. It is getting real scary in that area, because like I said, I keep doing stories about these attempted kidnappings, and they keep happening around the same area in the same state. So I would not be surprised if some of these are connected. If there's, like I said, if there's some kind of human trafficking stuff that they got going on, and they keep going after children. They keep going after young minor children. They don't even go after teenagers. These are kids, and they do it in broad daylight when anybody can see them. It's not like it's happening at night and there's like some kind of a van nearby, and they just grab him and just haul him into the van and drive off. So yeah, all I'm gonna say is, like, if y'all live in New York and y'all have small kids, this could be anywhere, to be honest. Be on your P's and Q's with your kids. And they basically, he went after this woman because he knew that he didn't have to put up a fight with her. She was an old woman, and he knew that it would have been easy to get away from her. But thankfully, it was other people around who were younger that was able to get her child back. But I wish it could have been more people. That way, some could have been, taking care of the child, and the other one could have been taking care of him. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments.